Hello guys! Madry ko og answer og impromptu aning mga question na tanaw na to kompleto makuha. Siyempre, pag daghan og wrong, dili ni siya i-upload. Di bitaw i-upload. I-upload ni siya. So na ako dali sa opisina. Ulaw, way ulaw-ulaw. Way ulaw-ulaw. Sige. First question. Which of the following statements is correct concerning analytical procedures used in planning an audit engagement? So, dapat ang nasa inyong utok, sa ako di ay. Kaya ako may mag-answer. Audit planning rin eh. First, they often replace the test of controls that are performed to assess control risk. No. They are not replacements of the test of control. They typically use financial and non-financial data aggregated at a high level. I'm not sure, so let's take a look at the other options. They usually involve the comparisons of assertions developed by management to ratios calculated by an auditor. They are often used to develop an auditor's preliminary judgment about materiality. So sa tulo, murag kini, feeling na ako na, pwede ma-wrong ni. But analytical procedures in planning the audit engagement is normally done to develop auditor's preliminary judgment about materiality. Dili ko. Question number 2 na ba? Question number 2. Which of the following is an internal control activity that could prevent a paid disbursement voucher from being presented for a payment a since time? A since time? A second time ni. A second time ni. So, vouchers ni. Sa maning mga nag-encode ani ay. Vouchers should be prepared by individuals who are responsible for signing disbursement checks. Dili. The date on the disbursement voucher, unsa man dayon kung vouchers are to be prepared by individuals who are responsible for signing disbursement checks. Dili dapat ni siya. Bawal no ni siya sa segregation of duty, so dili na. Disbursement vouchers should be approved by at least 2 responsible management officials. Ha? Nga naman dayon. Pwede naman gihapon ni siya ang disbursement voucher mabayaran og ikaduha. The date on a disbursement voucher should be within few days of the date of the voucher is presented for payment. It doesn't matter. The official who signs the check should compare the check with the voucher and should stamp paid on the voucher documents. This is the right one. When completing the audit of internal controls for a public company, so meaning dako na company na nasa stock market ang ilang shares, as as 5 requires auditors to test operating effectiveness only, design effectiveness only, both operating and design effectiveness. Kasi feel na ako kay public company man so that means it's very big and nanon ni siya public accountability, so dapat istriktohon. So both operating and design effectiveness. What is the primary objective of fraud brainstorming session? Determine the audit risk and materiality. Assess the potential for material misstatement due to fraud. Fraud brainstorming gani. Identify whether analytical procedures should be applied to revenue accounts. Wala siya kinalaman. Determine whether the planned procedures and the audit objectives will dili ni siya. Murag kini, di ba? Which of the following management assertions is an auditor most likely testing if the audit objective states that all inventory on hand is reflected at the end? Which of the following management assertion is an auditor most likely testing if the audit objective states that all inventory on hand is reflected in the ending inventory balance? Okay. Ilang assertion is kompleto. So, sa may akong buhaton as auditor, all inventory on hand is reflected in the inventory. The entity has rights to the inventory. The inventory is properly valued, properly presented in the financial statements. The inventory is complete. So kay naghinambog man sila na ang tanan inventory na is reflected in the inventory balance. So imong i-check na ang assertion kuan ni siya. I-check nimo if it is if it is true. So inventory is complete ko. Pero maaring wrong to. Which of the following audit procedures probably would provide the most reliable evidence related to the entity's assertion of rights and obligations for inventory account? Trace test counts noted during physical count to the summarization of quantities. Kumaning kanang tracing from non-accounting records to the accounting records man ni siya. Dili man na siya testing for rights and obligations. Kini testing for completeness. Inspect agreements for evidence of inventory held on consignment. Kini mo ni ang answer because naay inventory sometimes na nasa company pero dili day imo kay gi-consign ra. Mao na yata ni. Sige, kana itong pilion. Pero basahon sa nato ning uban. Select the few shipping advices used in physical count and determine whether shipments were recorded as sales. It's not related to rights and obligations assertion. Inspect the open purchase order file to significant commitments to consider for the disclosure. Kini ko. Final answer. The evidence considered most appropriate by auditors is described as internal documents such as sales invoice copies produced under conditions of internal control. So, kabalo naman tag unsa ang evidence, quality sa evidence ba? Mas gana kung from independent sources, mas gana kung document siya, mas gana kung kinuha siya ni auditor directly, and mas gana kung nasa original document rather than xerox and facsimiles, mas gana written kaysa oral. So kana itong gamiton dire. Internal documents such as sales invoice copies produced under conditions of strong internal control. Maaari. Documentary evidence obtained directly from independent external sources. Oo, gana po ni. Written representations kini dili kay di man ni directly kinuha ni auditor. Direct personal knowledge obtained through physical observation and mathematical recalculations. May mas considered gana. Of course, kining direct na nakuha ni auditor. May question number 7 pa ko. Alison Eberhardt, an employee in accounts payable, believes she can run a fictitious invoice through the accounts payable system and collect the money. She knows payments are subject to an audit. Which account should be the best place to hide the fraud? Hala, kung mangawat daw ta. Okay, accounts payable. Binuangan ng system, makolekta gyapon ng money. Tapos gina-audit man ang payments, taguan na to. Asa ko man itago? Lisod po itago sa wage, sa consulting o property inventory yun na. The most reliable evidence regarding the existence of newly acquired computer equipment is physical observation. Alo, ako na din gikon, wa pa gani ko nakabasa sa tanan. Nabahala eh. Nagyuyop diri. Pasensya na ma'am. Which of the following would the auditor consider to be an incompatible operations if the cashier receives remittances? Ako. Kung si cashier mag-receive ng remittances, haman daw diri ang incompatible na imong i-assign sa iya ka. The cashier prepares the daily deposit. Pwede naman na. The cashier makes the daily deposit at a local bank. Hala, siya may mag-deposit. The cashier posts the receipts to the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger cards. Hala, ano siya may mag-post? Patay mo na ni ron. The cashier endorsed the checks. Okay, kung siya may mag-receive ng remittances, di ni pwede nga siya may mag-post kay recording as well and custody of assets should be separated. When when auditing when auditing an investment in another company, an auditor most likely would seek to conduct which audit procedure to help satisfy the valuation assertion. Valuation. So inspect the stock certificates evidencing the investment. Valuation din na. Review the broker's advice or cancel check for investment acquisition. Valuation, murag dili siya kay related sa valuation. Examine the audited financial statements of the invested company. Obtain market quotations mo ni siya. So, kung valuation assertion imong i-test, dili gyud ka sa market quotations of investment in shares maning siguro ning pasabutan ni na question kay ang mga choices mga stocks man. So this is for me the right answer. A client's purchasing system ends with the recording of a liability and its eventual payment. Okay. Which of the following best describes auditor's primary concern with respect to liabilities resulting from the purchasing system? Okay, unsa may imong as an auditor, unsa imong primary concern if ever na liability tapos record tapos eventually bayaran. So ang atong concern, accounts payable are not materially understated. Pwede because most of the time para mas mugana ang financial statements ginahimo ni ng management na responsible party na ang accounts payable gamayan. So pwede. Authority to incur liabilities is restricted to one designated person. Wa tay pakian as an auditor. Depende na sa policy ng company. Kung audit of financial statements, acquisition of materials made from one vendor or one group of vendors, ano ito maning pakialaman? Di na mao. Commitments for all purchases are made only after established. Wa sad tay pakian puro man policy na walay kinalaman sa financial statements dirita. Number 12 na ko. The primary difference between operation auditing and financial auditing is that in operational auditing, the operational auditor is not concerned with whether the audited activity is generating information in compliance with financial accounting standards. Pwede. The operational auditor is seeking to help management use the resources in the most effective manner possible. The operational auditor starts with the financial statements of activity being audited and works backward to the basic. No. The operational auditor can use analytical skills and tools that are not necessary in financial. Dili man pud ni. Grabe naman ni. To help nganong i-help man niya ang management use resources. So, sa ako okay, kini letter A ko. Ang auditor di mo na mo help. Confirmation of accounts receivable provide evidence primarily about which two assertions. So mag-confirm ka two assertions. So mag-confirm ka pag existence dapat kung feeling nimo ang accounts receivable is overstated dito na ni may confirm. So duha ra hindi man ni mao existence, rights and obligations because when you confirm sa mga customers you'll be able to see if ever mopalag sila kay lagi sobra man test nimo ang existence and of course, mahibalan kung sa company ba na ang accounts receivable. Yeah. In test of controls, Is test of controls induce the audit team? Okay, oo kasabot. The test of controls induce the audit team to change the assessed level of control risk for fixed assets from 0.4 to 100%. Wow, sumaot ang internal control. And audit risk of 0.05 and the inherent risk remain constant. The acceptable level of detection risk is most likely to. So when you increase the control risk, so ang acceptable level of your kuan, uy kinahanglan day calculator ani. Mugamay ang acceptable level of detection risk. Hamay ni gamay ra dire. Be unchanged, wrong na siya. From 0.25 to 1 to 0.1. Pwede. From 0.2 to 0.3, wrong na siya daan. From 0.1 to 0.04. Nikuan mangod siya, nahimong 1 instead na 0.4. So 100. Nada ni sa duho. Kini na lang based sa ako ang kanang feelings. Feelings. Kini calculate pero murag estimated ra ba kini. Kaya wala ko'y calculator. An audit strategy memorandum contains specifications of auditing standards relevant to the financial statements being audited. Di man na auditing strategy. Documentation of assertions under audit, the evidence obtained and the conclusions reached. Strategy pa man. So kini siya after audit naman eh. Specification of procedures the auditors believe appropriate for financial statements under audit. Pwede. Reconciliation of the account balances in the financial statements with the account balances. Di man ni strategy. Dati naman ang strategy. Yeah. Why duha-duha? Pag wrong. When completing the audit of internal controls for an issuer, meaning dako na sab ni na company, the severity of internal control deficiency depends on whether there is a reasonable possibility that the company's controls will fail to prevent or detect a misstatement of an account balance of disclosure. Pwede. Mao yun eh. Pero basahon pa tanan whether the account has a history of errors. Ha? The magnitude of potential misstatements resulting from the deficiency or the deficiencies. Both A and C. Hulo. Pwede mo ni siya. Both A and C ko. Palahi lang. Which of the following? Wait, ayaw mo niya kung try te. Wait, wala ko kabalo kung pila ang akong score ani. But regardless, which of the following is a device designed to help the audit team obtain evidence about the accounting and control activities of an audit client? Device to help the audit team obtain evidence about the accounting. Okay. Narrative memorandum describing the control system. Pwede. Internal control questionnaire. A flowchart of the documents and procedures. No, pwede man itanan. Okay. All of the above. Which of the following best describes the relationship between auditing and attestation engagements? Ang auditing is an attestation engagement, so generic ang attestation engagement. Auditing is a subset of attestation engagements that focuses on the certification of financial statements. Yes. Wrong ni. Okay ni. Auditing is a subset of attestation engagement that focuses on providing clients with advice and decision support. No. Management consultancy services man eh. So letter A na siya. All corporate capital stock transactions should ultimately be traced to the Haman. Cash receipts journal, no. Cash disbursements dili pod kay tanan na ni mga transactions halos dili ang naa, dili lang capital transactions, so maglibog ka kung hain di ang capital transactions. Numbered stock certificates. Pwede po minutes. Glibog ko sa duha. Traced. Traced to the kini yata. Kaya may makuha sa minutes of the board of directors about stock transactions. Dire. Mao na to? Mao na to. Let's submit the test and tanaw na to kung pila itong kuha. Uy, na ako'y 5 na wrong guys. Kapungot. Tanaw na to ang mga wrong. Yay, 75% na ko. Kigwa. So, correct ko sa number. Oh, yeah. Wrong ko din eh. Which of the following is the kuan? Which the following is correct concerning analytical procedures used in planning and audit engagement? They typically use financial and non-financial data aggregated at a high level. Oh, you're still learning. Nice work, man. Let's go to the wrong na lang diretso. Accounts payable believes, huh? She can run fictitious invoice through accounts payable system and collect the money. She knows the payments are subject to an audit. Which account would be best placed to hide the fraud? Consulting service expenses di ay? Mangawat ka sa accounts payable? Okay. Ano mo din eh? Okay. Sige. Next. The primary difference between operation auditing and financial auditing. Ha? Abi na kog ang auditor is just there to examine, not to help the management use resources in the most effective manner possible. Sige, wrong gid ko ana. Next, na wrong. Which of the following is a device designed to help the audit team about the accounting and control activities? Internal control questionnaire di ay? Kini manggod narrative memorandum describing the control system and the flowchart and the internal control questionnaire. Okay. Kagets ko sa question but ang nabutang mo sa kung na these three are acceptable documentation sa internal control. Okay, wrong. Minutes lagi. Nagduda gid ko sa minutes niya. Napili pa gid nako ang wrong. 15/20 na ko guys, pero wala ko ipake. Basta inato ang style nan pag solve na ako, pag answer. If ever first time pa na ako nakitaan ang questions. That's it.